Greetings and welcome to OVHcloud Engage, United States Edition. Let me begin with a few administrative items and then we'll get into today's presentation. So first of all, our legal disclaimer. Some of the items presented today will be forward and future looking. So of course we reserve the right that as the future changes, not everything that is introduced today may actually be delivered as described or at all, but this is our best estimate of our future roadmap. Additionally, this content is the property of OVHcloud, and just like on any sporting broadcast, any further distribution requires our express written consent. We're very happy to be coming to you live today from the Curiosity Lab at Peachtree Corners, Georgia. OVHcloud has had a year-long partnership with the city of Peachtree Corners and the Curiosity Lab, and we're very happy to be here today to continue that relationship. The city of Peachtree Corners is the leading city for smart city concepts, and the Curiosity Lab is a great innovation center for autonomous vehicles, 5G technology, and remote sensors, among many other things. And OVHcloud US is very happy to be the official cloud provider for this project. And finally, with the administration, your presenters today, my name is Gregor. I'm the general manager of OVHcloud US. After I give an introduction about the company and how we fit in the cloud market, I'll be followed by James McKenzie, Senior Product Manager, who will give an overview of our infrastructure as a service offerings, specifically around our bare metal cloud and bare metal servers. He'll be followed by Mo Herring, Senior Director of Enterprise Sales, who will talk to you about our hosted private cloud offerings and roadmap. And then finally, Pascal Jayon, our Senior Vice President for Digital Sales and Product, will give you an overview of our public cloud and platform as a service solutions and our technologies that allow you to modernize and create modern apps in the cloud. We're coming to you today, as I said, live from Peachtree Corners, but also streaming live on the internet, and an edited version of this presentation will be made available on the internet in the future. So I'm going to give you a broad overview of OVHcloud and OVHcloud US because I expect that we'll have customers, potential customers, partners, potential partners, even perhaps other competitors in the industry, people just interested in technology. So I'm sure some of you are unfamiliar with OVHcloud, so let me give you some background. No introduction or story about OVHcloud would be complete or could even start without our founder, Octave Klaba. Octave was born in Poland and immigrated to France. At the age of 24, he realized that there was a need in the market for better servers and services in the cloud to support, at that time, mostly web hosting and the initial stages of the internet. So he got some servers and rented some space in a basement in Paris and started OVHcloud in 1999. Since then, the company has grown to a household name in France and is well known throughout Europe and now throughout the world. We have data centers on 4 continents. We serve customers in nearly every country of the world, and it's a great success story. One man and his vision, growing to a worldwide company. And Octave's vision includes the phrase innovation for freedom. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk to you about today, how OVHcloud provides the building blocks and the enablers for anyone from enterprises, public institutions, small and medium businesses, startups, or even individuals, to realize their dreams with our cloud products. Now, who is OVHcloud US and how do we fit into the cloud ecosystem? Well, we are a pure play cloud provider. It's all that we do. We don't do other things. We focus on delivering cloud services. And unlike most others in the cloud space who focus on one particular area, public cloud, which is probably what you think of when you hear the term cloud, but also other providers focused mostly on private cloud or few on bare metal cloud. We cover the entire spectrum. And why is that important? It's because we deliver bare metal cloud, private cloud, public cloud, and platform as a service offerings that allow you to operate in a hybrid cloud mode, meaning that you've got some workloads either on-premise or in a co-location data center, or even perhaps in another cloud. So we allow you to combine our services within our cloud and also with other clouds. And as far as multi-cloud goes, there's a great deal of research by industry analysts and even the companies in the industry themselves. We realize that it is a multi-cloud world for regulatory reasons or just to reduce risk and not have all of your cloud and IT services delivered by one provider. More than 80% of companies are now using 2 or more cloud providers, and 60% are using 3 or more. So as an alternative cloud provider, OVHcloud US can deliver all of the cloud solutions that any individual company or enterprise needs to be successful and realize the promises of the cloud. Okay, so continuing on the story from hybrid and multi-cloud, we also are a trusted cloud provider. And what I mean by that is we completely respect not only your data, but your business, OVHcloud. As I said, we're totally focused on being a cloud provider. We will never compete with you. We're not doing any kind of analysis on any metadata for the services that you're using with us to determine that you built the next killer app or some streaming service or something else. We're not going to come up with those solutions. We're just merely providing the building blocks and the cloud infrastructure and the services for you to be successful. We have an active ecosystem. As I mentioned, we have not only the building blocks of bare metal servers and private cloud and public cloud, we've got some platform as a service offerings that are the next step in the key building blocks that companies need, mainly database as a service offerings, some AI and machine learning offerings so that companies can really control, manage, and analyze and take actionable steps with their data. We also offer our best price up front. We're very transparent and our prices are very predictable. You won't get surprises with OVHcloud pricing. We basically have either a monthly or multi-monthly commitment purchase model, so you always know what you'll be paying either by month or for the length of the term that you've committed to. We also do have a consumption model where you pay by the hour, but again, those prices are very clear and there are no hidden or sort of surge fees. If you're familiar with, again, what you would probably think of as the cloud with some providers, there's a lot of sticker shock for companies and customers. It's not so, it's very clear when you store your data and you're using the compute or the storage, but when you move data, which you need to do to make any useful effect of your data, that's where other companies charge you for moving that data around. OVHcloud owns and controls our own high-speed fiber network, and so we don't charge you for any ingress or egress fees, either on the public or the private side. And then finally, we offer a vertically integrated and sustainable cloud. We do everything from bend the sheet metal to build our servers, install them in racks, put them in our data centers, operate the data centers, and operate that very powerful 22 terabit per second global fiber network. And a little more on our vertical integration. So like I said, we take it from the sheet metal, we install all the components, deliver to the data centers, operate them. Another differentiator for OVH compared to other competitors is we give you a wide variety of options in the customizations for your servers. So it's very easy to configure them exactly how you need them with the memory and the storage space. And with this vertical integration, we pass these savings on to our customers. Additionally, when we operate our data centers, we use our own proprietary water cooling technology to reduce the amount of energy and water and other resources necessary to operate our data centers. So we also pass those savings on to customers. And then finally, we take a very ecological and economical view of all of our servers and all of our components. We offer the latest and greatest and most powerful servers to our enterprise and business customers who need those, but we are working on completely recycling all of our components in the coming years and moving to a completely renewable energy model. But even now, nearly 40% of all of our servers use recycled components. And we take our servers, the latest and greatest models, and we give them multiple lives, moving them down the value chain and again, allowing us to address a wide variety of customers, down to individuals or startups or smaller businesses who maybe don't need or can't afford the latest and greatest, but we still have very performant, powerful servers that are a few years old that we offer to the market. Here's a laydown of our data centers. As you can see, we're a global company. We've got a footprint in North America with data centers in the United States and Canada, many in Europe where we were founded, and Asia Pacific. You'll get more details later from the other presenters, but we have aspirations to build out many more data centers, including in the US, Canada, Europe, India for the first time, as well in the Asia Pacific region. Our global fiber network, like I mentioned earlier, allows us to operate a service we call VRAC, which is a private networking technology, which allows you to network privately all of your servers in any data center together. So again, you can avoid transiting your data over the public internet, which adds security and speed and allows you to operate much more efficiently. The cloud is seen as complex, and a lot of companies that have previously moved to the cloud have either already moved back into an on-prem situation or are considering doing so because they haven't really been able to achieve the promises of the cloud. Our approach to bring that value to customers is simple, and it's with what we call our smart cloud approach. Our approach is making the cloud simple, multi-local, accessible, reversible, and transparent. And what I mean by that is simple is we have simple interfaces. In fact, we were cited by an analyst in an article recently for how user-friendly our manager interface, which is our web user interface that you use to control and manage your services. We also have a very robust API so that you can automate everything that you do with your services with us. Multi-local is, as I mentioned, we've got a global footprint, and you will always know where your data is. You're completely in control of it. We don't move your data to other availability zones or other areas without you knowing about it. You're in complete control of your data and where it resides. We're accessible, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier. We're open for everyone, whether you're a large corporation, a startup, or even individuals. We have some solution at the right price and performance ratio for you. We're reversible because we support open source initiatives, and we avoid vendor lock-in. So whatever you do with OVHcloud, you can easily move it to some other cloud provider or back on-prem and back and forth as necessary. That supports the multi-cloud model, where we know that in some instances you'll want to put certain workloads in different places. And transparent goes back to our pricing model, no surprise pricing, and just the clarity of our offers. Again, giving you many options to customize the servers and services to your needs. All right, and then finally, we address the main cloud adoption challenges that people and companies are having. And again, this is why it's hard for people to move to the cloud or be successful in the cloud. There is complexity in the cloud. It takes time to refactor your applications. There's cost related to that. Once you have something up and running, you generally want to tend to leave it where it is. You have to have people that can operate these cloud services. And finally, you need the trust and compliance. And OVHcloud, with our entire product line that I've already described before, meets all those needs. So with that overview, let me now turn it over to James McKenzie, and he'll give you some more details about our bare metal cloud offerings and the roadmap.
All right, hi, I am James McKenzie, Senior Product Manager with OVHcloud. Thanks for the handoff, Gregor. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can empower your cloud journey, leveraging infrastructure as a service with OVHcloud. Companies are always looking for ways to improve their infrastructure and optimize their servers and manage all of their workloads in a more efficient fashion. This presentation, you're going to learn how to do that with OVHcloud. Gregor did mention quite a few of our products today that you're going to hear about during this presentation, but I'm going to go over the fundamentals and building blocks of our infrastructure as a service. So we have a vast suite of products that can help you. I'm going to focus on the first few of them, starting with our network, our storage, and our dedicated servers. We provide you with the building blocks that you need to design and optimize your infrastructure. We manage the foundation, which is the network and storage and servers that I mentioned, and that's going to allow you to take your focus off of managing all that stuff and maintaining the actual data centers, hardware, network, and everything on that side, where you can now focus on managing your business, optimizing your actual workloads, and concentrating on what your business is going to do and provide in the future. With OVHcloud and with bare metal cloud at OVH, what you're going to have is a 100% dedicated infrastructure. You'll have control over all of these raw resources, including the CPU, network, RAM, storage, whatever it is. None of that's shared whatsoever on bare metal cloud. This is all dedicated to you to use how you want to run your workloads. Next, you're going to have full control of that. So all the way down to our BIOS, you have full control to manage these workloads with full root access, as if the machine was directly connected to your on-premise site, or if the server was even right beside you. The thing that we give you with this direct control is now you have not only the full advantages of taking care of the infrastructure and managing it yourself, you also have the integration with our cloud portion. So you have the access to take full advantage of our industry, as well as all of our components. So everything that we have in our data centers that's just one click away from deploying on your side, you can now do that as well as control the infrastructure yourself. You can also have access to 100% customizable servers. With OVHcloud, what we do on my team and across all of our products teams is to design products that are really fit towards a specific use case, but we also do give you the advantage of being able to customize these servers with either specific RAM configurations, so starting at 32 gigs going up to 1.5 gigs of RAM that you can add into specific machines, and also use disks like SAS drives, SATA drives, or NVMe, or even hybrid arrays of disks with hardware RAID or software RAID to really get that niche thing you might need for whatever kind of application you're trying to deploy. And the same thing can go for network, where you're able to either increase, decrease, or manage network speeds how you see fit across our entire suite of products. Next is going to be scalable. Our products are 100% scalable. Whether you need to integrate products or servers vertically, horizontally, we are there for you. We're on the back end, and we're able to support you in different locations, so different geographic locations, as well as as well as the APIs that we have that allow you to deploy servers on demand and quickly and efficiently. In addition to that, if you're not an API person, we also have a graphical interface. I think Gregor was mentioning it before, but easy places where you can order these servers either through our OVH control panel, directly through our website, or through your account manager, whatever it is. And then last but not least, we try to stay 100% up to date. being on an 18-month life cycle on our industry side. So as we mentioned earlier, the life cycles, so first, second, and third life cycles of servers. This allows us to keep you up to date on our highest end parts of it. And then bringing that into our full suite of bare metal servers, starting from, let's see what side that is, starting from right to left, I'll go backwards. But after that 18-month life cycle, with our ecological approach, and what we're trying to do is reduce our ecological footprint, and we'll make sure everything works a little bit better. We're going to start with the scale and high grade. These are our most powerful servers. They leverage the latest and greatest technology, so they have the highest SLAs as well, redundant power supplies, redundant network, all that kind of stuff to really cater to advanced use cases like artificial intelligence and machine learning and all of those kind of things. And then that's going to take us into our advanced servers. The advanced servers are going to take cost and components and performance into account. So those are more targeted towards SMBs, but give you the capacity to build a very versatile infrastructure, but at a lower cost and still having quite a lot of really good components. Next, another part that OVHcloud is great in is in the gaming industry. In the gaming industry, we're one of the leaders in terms of creating great infrastructure for you to develop and host your online games on. And then last but not least, using the example of those second and third life servers, offering a lower price to customers, being customers looking for solutions that just need to work. They might not need the highest CPU or the largest amount of RAM or the best network, but these servers are a great way to have a cost-effective infrastructure and also start with something maybe on a smaller like business scale or like your own personal blog or whatever kind of workload you would need to do. These are servers that just work and still leverage great components and are still part of OVH. So now to go over a little bit of what's new, what's next, so things that we have introduced over the past couple of years, starting with our scale and high grade servers. These ranges are our most versatile, that's for sure, so you're able to customize these quite a bit from, I think it starts at 64 gigs of RAM going up to that 1.5 petabytes, or terabytes, not petabytes of RAM, sorry. But also a really vast choice of network solutions or network options for you, as well as storage arrays. So things that we're working on, these are optimized for the most critical workloads. That's what I wanted to say. If you have something that's more in the artificial intelligence space or into machine learning, these are really targeted towards those kind of workloads, but anything high performance would thrive here. The game range was also refurbished in the past 2 years, I'd say, leveraging AMD's newest components. So we're using the 56 and 5800X AMD CPUs in those. Those are great for running any kind of gaming workload. And then not last but not least, but new stuff that we have coming out are the APAC, so Asia Pacific range. Currently, you're able to buy into almost every single data center OVH has to offer. But going forward, you're going to be able to purchase into our Asian and into our Asia Pacific data centers, which are Sydney as well as Australia. Sydney, Australia, and Singapore. That's what I meant to say. And then last but not least is the lower tier that I was mentioning earlier, the Eco range. So that's going to offer customers a way to buy into at an entry point and really get their feet wet with dedicated servers before moving up into all these other ranges. Now, some of the other new features that we've added over the past little while is RAID hardware options or hardware RAID options for our advanced servers. Now, every single one of our advanced servers is able to leverage hardware RAID, so for any kind of virtualization workloads where that's really important. Next, we're going to be adding in 18 terabyte hard drives for our HDR store workloads, and that's going to give you up to 1.4 petabytes of capacity per dedicated server. So that's something on our roadmap. We've also offered some new OS templates. We've included ESXi 7, Alma, and Rocky Linux, and a few others. So that's a catalog that's constantly changing. You can stay up to date with it if you're deploying anything on OVH. So our catalog's constantly growing for operating systems. Other new servers that we've launched, the newest one being the ADV6, so that's part of our advanced range. That's on the Intel Ice Lake CPU, so that's for confidential computing. That's the main target workload for there. Like I mentioned earlier, the HDR store with the 1.4 petabytes of storage space. We have our HDR AI, so targeting artificial intelligent workloads. That's using NVIDIA's latest GPUs. Our new Scale 7, which is coming out with the AMD 64-core processor that's for grid computing, and our new high-end GPU platforms that are going to be for VDI, game hosting, or cloud gaming, I should say, as well as AI inference. And then touching on what Gregor was mentioning earlier, we have some new geographic locations coming out, so one being in our Asia-Pacific region, the second DC being built in Germany, so in addition to what we have in Germany today. Brand new DC in India, so that's one that we get quite a bit of questions about, so that's coming. And we also have quite a few more, including North America, specifically into the US, which we won't talk about too much today, but we'll be announcing more about later on. And then that's going to bring us into network. So remember, with OVH Compute and with OVH in general, you don't pay for your incoming or outgoing bandwidth on the majority of our compute workloads. OVHcloud has always invested very heavily into our network. We own our own dark fiber network across the world. We also include the private networking, you have access to this private network across all of our data centers, leveraging another product which is called VRAC. So VRAC is a product that, like I said, allows you to interconnect all of your products together across multiple geographies, which is really cool. But on top of that, you can create up to 4,096 VLANs to really segregate traffic across these zones as well. What was the other thing? Next, I wanted to just bring that into OCC. So OVH Cloud Connect is a new product that's coming out. I'll be mentioning it a bit more later, or Mo will probably take a little bit more on that part. But OCC allows you to bring your business and connect directly into one of our points of presence. And then you'd be able to connect from your office directly into OVH's backbone and into your servers that we have without having to go over the public internet. And then one other last point, I guess, on this topic would be our anti-DDoS system, just because I don't think we had mentioned it earlier today, but our anti-DDoS system covers all of OVH's products and services. So if you do get hit with a DDoS attack for whatever reason, you are going to be able to, you'll be protected. And now we'll take a look at what's new. So we've listened to our customers' feedback on quite a few points, and the newest thing that we're going to have in the future is the ability to bring your own IP addresses as well as your own ASN into OVH. So you won't only have to purchase our IPs, you can actually bring your own in going forward. So this is going to be something new to OVH for the first time. We're also working on a major update on our failover IPs to improve our reputation on IP addresses as well as the experience for our users overall. We're constantly strengthening our network foundations and improving standards on the worldwide infrastructure that we currently have. Each data center is connected with multiple points of presence and different locations, so that's how our network works, kind of like, BGP for anyone who's familiar. Our point of presence share traffic with OVH and as well as with other providers, so those would be our peers in our network. And those would exchange traffic with different tiers of redundancy. With different providers, and that would ensure more redundancy. Our new consolidated, standardized, and converged, so infrastructure as a service, this is known as one network on our side. It's going to be based on a network fabric that ensures that all servers are equal distance to each other to improve performance, reduce risks on paths, and keep it simple and coherent. This leads us into the next part of our infrastructure as a service journey, which is storage. So on top of providing all of those storage arrays and HGR store and everything I mentioned on just our bare metal cloud offerings, we also do have other solutions that are based off of our public cloud offering. And I'll go into just a bit of details about those. So leveraging our public cloud products and our storage products on public cloud, you have access to object storage, which would allow you to store objects in a private or public setting based off of what you choose. We also have our block storage, and that's going to leverage Ceph. So Ceph is doing a triple replication of the entire storage infrastructure, so you don't have to worry about your data getting lost or anything, because it's going to be triple replicated automatically. Next would be archival storage. So this would be storage that you store and might not have to necessarily access all the time. It's something you want to keep stored for a very long period of time, and maybe not access it every day. And last but not least, we have a file storage option using OpenZFS. And then what's coming next for storage is that we'll have two different tiers of file storage. So NetApp ONTAP, which is going to offer an enterprise-grade experience, as well as our HA NAS. That's going to be able to be consumed by various products in OVH, and that's a cost-effective method of backing up. The other two are going to be our S3 high-performance object storage. So compared to what we have today, this is quite an improvement on our object storage. The next would be our standard one. So these are both improvements to stuff that we have today, but it's quite a vast difference in terms of perf or performance. And then all of these great products are going to help with data replication, backup and DRP solutions, as well as future lifecycle options and enhancements. So with that, I would like to introduce Mo. I think I spoke pretty quick there, but I'd like to introduce Mo for the what's it called, for the hosted private cloud. Sorry.
Thanks, James. Appreciate the introduction. For all of you that don't know me, I'm Mo Herring. I am the Senior Director of Enterprise Sales. Our primary focus is on the hosted private cloud based off the VMware stack. We also have public cloud, and we can also sell bare metal. And as James has kind of noted, we can attach all of that over VRAC technology. But today, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to kind of show you some of what we offer in our VMware stack and show you some of the benefits of it and how you can probably utilize it to help keep your business moving, growing, and make it scalable. So our private cloud stack is based off the VCPP program, which is the VMware Cloud Provider Stack. It's designed to keep your business running with continuous protection using high availability technology based off of VMware, along with improving productivity. As part of our private cloud product, our goal is to provide you a powerful, dedicated solution that is both scalable and flexible, and I'm going to go over some of the details on how all of this will work for you right now. Out of the box, we give you full access to vCenter, which is basically unheard of in the industry. Along with the package, you get NSX for networking and virtual firewalling, VROPS for monitoring and alerting and cluster availability in regards to health statuses, and again, you get full HTML5 access to your vCenter. We have 25 gig connections between your host and your storage, and you get 10 gig connectivity into your private cloud. The NFS data stores, from a performance point of view, are all full SSD. There is no tiered storage. You're going to get the most IOPS you're going to get from a performance point of view, which is perfect for running databases, complex applications that are highly transactional, right? And then you get along with that, you get all kinds of high availability that you can configure yourself in regards to having access to infinity rules. You can set up high availability edges for your firewalls to fail over in case one dies. You have NSXT that's coming out here in the near future, and we'll go over some of those details as well. But we're going to start with VROPS here on how it's used to monitor your environment. vRealized Operation Manager is literally a systems health monitoring utility that highlights all your issues in your virtual environment and steers you in the right direction for troubleshooting. There's many reports that can come out of VROPS. One of the favorite ones that I like is cluster reclamation. I hope I'm saying that right. But what that is a report that balances out your cluster and allows you to reclaim RAM, CPU, even space, so you can redistribute those payloads out for additional projects that you're working on and or just to save cost. If you're not needing 8 CPUs, you only need 2, this tool will tell you that. That way you can give them back, and again, you can redistribute those resources. That's one of the most valuable reports out of VROPS. NSX focuses on virtual networking. That includes VLAN assignments and tagging, edge routing and firewalling, VPN tunnels, load balancing. It even offers security such as IDS and IPS. That's intrusion detection and intrusion prevention. You can automate your deployments in your vSphere environment using NSX, along with keeping everything simple, and you can merge your applications, framework, and architectures. Some examples of OVHcloud scalability starts with our automation. OVHcloud monitors the host heartbeat. And what that translates into is we cannot establish or identify a consistent heartbeat both on the A side and the B side, we'll deploy an additional host. You don't have to wait. You don't have to buy one if you got your stuff running on-prem. It's there automatically. You don't have to pay for it. It's there. So what that allows you to do is saying, hey, if I'm going down for whatever reason, I get an additional host, and then my cluster will recalibrate and cool off again. That's pretty fancy stuff, in my opinion. No other vendor provides you that. We offer that as flexibility. Having this high availability in your cluster is going to help you keep things organized, but more importantly, give you that scalability, give you that flexibility to keep your cluster and, more importantly, your business running and moving forward. Another good thing about it, as James has kind of mentioned, we do have an OVH portal. So you could literally be on an airplane, logged in, and you get notified from your VROPS utility to say, hey, I need additional compute resources. Great. I can log into the web portal anywhere in the world and right-click and get an additional host deployed right then and there. If I'm needing an additional host for a test over the weekend, 2 additional hosts. We don't put a limit on that. Whatever you're needing, you can use them full-time, or you can pay for them temporary and give them back. And we'll charge you just for temporary usage. So again, that's an industry thing that we provide to help you keep your business very scalable. The other good thing about our private cloud is it's not just isolated to VMware technology. As James has mentioned, we have all of these great bare metal servers, and at the end of the day, you can connect every one of them to your private cloud over VRAC technology. So if you want to have an AI server with the latest GPU, and you've got a project that you want to run and develop against artificial intelligence, add that to your private cloud, connect it over VRAC, and again, it's going across our backplane, so it's very secure. Only you're going to have access to it. You're rocking and rolling. It's a pretty fancy feature. Part of our VMware stack coming very quickly, and I say that within the next 2 months, and then some longer term implementations that we're doing for the next 2 to 4 months. ADFS, Active Directory Federation. It's real simple. If you're running an on-premise Active Directory Federation, connect, all your groups and everything else is going to migrate and be authenticated to your Active Directory moving forward into our cloud. Also, we'll have that through our manager portal. It's new stuff for us. vSphere 7 will be rolling out literally within a week or 2 at the latest, along with NSXT should be out in another month or so. And we're also bringing out a new region in Poland to continue to expand your footprint. That way you can have a follow the sun type of model if you need to have that. Again, as Gregor has mentioned, we got data centers across the globe that can serve all your needs. And if you order them through the OVH US Manager, you can manage all of those resources through one management portal. It's pretty fascinating. In the longer term deployment that we have noted up here, VMware Tanzu. VMware Tanzu is a very robust utility, and I'm going to go over just a little bit of details of it. It's literally microservices, containers, NK8s, also known as Kubernetes in the marketplace, to help free apps from an infrastructure limitation, and it enables them to work independently and run anywhere in your global network. With the VMware Tanzu, you can make most of these cloud native patterns. You can automate it, you can deliver containerized workloads, you can proactively manage the apps in the production, and most importantly, they'll be secure because this could be on our private network with your authentication protocols in place behind your NSX firewalls and edges. With VMware Tanzu, you can ready your infrastructure for modern apps with consistent, conformant Kubernetes everywhere. You can provide a self-service compliance experience for developers that clears a path to their production while increasing security out of the box. And you can have data protection features to go along with it with NSX. We'll get into NSX here in just a minute. Most importantly, again, you can centralize all of this out of one single pane of glass. That is probably the most robust feature about it. I don't have to go to tab, tab, tab. I can go to one single pane of glass and do all of the management. Simplicity is one of the things we like to pride ourselves on. Bitnami. Bitnami is a recent acquisition from VMware. Bitnami is a catalog that was allowed for MSPs from VMware's VCPP partnership program to distribute customized open source applications with a click of a button inside Tanzu. So if you're looking for a very quick, robust deployment of Hadoop or software that runs artificial intelligence, again, there's 120 different current offerings today that VMware provides from Bitnami, and that'll be readily available here within the next 3 to 4 months. Last but not least, let's talk about stretch clustering. Stretch clustering is literally just that. Most folks are used to having a VMware experience on-prem. Everything's in one cage, one rack. This is right the opposite of that. This is a host here, a host somewhere else in the world, still part of one cluster. So when you have high availability stood up and enabled, you can literally move that VM to that VM and still be in the same cluster. You don't have to have 2 different vCenters to manage it. Simplified. A couple other things that we'll touch base on real quick. As James kind of mentioned, we are going to roll out NetApp for data stores. And you'll get all the benefits of the software package that NetApp provides, which is great. And then we're going to have new hardware releases coming out here and again 3 to 4 months as well. And they'll have higher CPU cycles, et cetera, et cetera. Next, our OCC. Yes, we have been waiting a long time for this, and this is now live in the US. What this allows for is a direct connection, either 1 gig or 10 gig, into our backplane. When you're connected to our backplane, you're the most secure connection you can have to manage and migrate, most importantly, your workloads securely instead of going over a VPN tunnel that's probably going to have a specific protocol to throttle it down in your routers or firewalls if they're stood up that way. So you have that full pipe securely in our backplane to move workloads to your private clouds, to your disaster recovery site, and that's going to be ran through Equinix as well to have peering networks for additional POP locations so you can get one that's closer to you in your regions in the United States and in Canada and across the globe. This gives you that leveraging of VRacking. You have to have the VRacking to leverage this, but what I'm driving at is you can use this to connect all of your stuff over the VRack tunnel to multiple clouds, no matter what the provider is. A couple of use cases that we want to run through real quick for customers that we have today. NASA Federal Credit Union is using our private cloud for multiple reasons, as we already went over, but they implement SD-WAN technology into our private cloud, along with using NSX, along with using all of our full SSD storage, along with using all of the VLAN assignments to get all the private networks stood up so they can separate and isolate traffic from their teller applications to their home loan applications to all that other fun stuff. They microsegment all their services, which is fantastic. Stimson Lumber is the exact same way, except for a little bit different. They're using our private clouds to run their ERP applications and whatnot, and then they replicate through a disaster recovery model through Veeam, which we'll go over here in just a minute, to our site using the VRAC technology to connect point A to point B, and again, they can move everything over our backplane. And all of those are very similar to what Smart Hub AI is using, just the same. They had some pain points, they looked for the simplicity, and they followed that model. Next, disaster recovery. Now, disaster recovery can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Typically it's weather, or it can be man-made. It's ransomware. Everybody's heard of ransomware. Everybody's heard of malware. And I created my own little, what I call oopsieware, from where someone's gone in and done a right click and deleted something and oh my gosh, where'd it go? And I need a backup of it. You need to be able to resume operations is the point. So disaster can mean a multitude of things. Your institution's got to have business continuity plans. If it does not have a continuity plan and you lose a production server or a production node, are you still making money? Are you covered? That's the question. How much are you impacting my business financially because you don't have a backup, because we were not secure? That's what disaster recovery means. We do this with two products that we have. Number one is Zerto. Zerto has what's called CDP, Continuous Data Protection, and it's the foundation for which Zerto has been doing for 10 years. They are masters at it. Zerto gives you a catalog for which you can you can replicate and keep 30 days worth of replication. So every day that you make a copy of your VM, you can put it into a catalog. It's called a journal, and you can have 30 days of it. So if you get infected by day 8 and you need day 9 VM to bring a clean VM back on, you have it journalized to be able to do that. Secondly, you can create VPGs, virtual protection groups. So if you're running everything in a clustered organization, such as your web servers, your database servers, whatever you're doing, you can literally do the exact same groups and fail over to your Zerto implementation and immediately transition all your traffic over to that and spin it up within a matter of minutes, and again, have that business continuity that your institution's probably having or needing. Thanks, Jake. The other thing that we have is Veeam as a backup. Very quickly, Veeam handles unstructured NAS data, supports mass instant restores, supercharges SAPs and Oracle database backups if you need it. It automates offsite redundancies, provides secure replication, and last but not least, it ensures intelligent data is reusable. We've done a lot of work in the past 2 years. As James mentioned, we're listening to all of our customers and our clients. We've taken the feedback. We've improved our products. We've worked very hard, to say the least, and we've addressed as many pain points as we can in the past 2 years. OVHcloud has developed all of these enterprise solutions, and we've kept our pricing very competitive. We're now being recognized that. We're not just tooting our own horn. Here you see the Forrester Wave and the IDC MarketScape. We are in the top quadrants now. We are being recognized by other industries, research companies. I think that's just a tribute to we're still growing. We will continue to innovate. We will continue to offer solutions both in a private cloud and a public cloud space. And this is where Pascal is going to jump in here and give you an overview of our public cloud offering and answer any questions that you may have. Pascal?
Thank you, Mo. Hello, everybody. I am Pascal Jaillon, and I lead the team responsible for the cloud product portfolio at OVHcloud US. In this last part of this presentation, I will focus on our public cloud and platform as a service offers and share with you how you can leverage them to start or to continue your migration to the cloud. So you have already heard from James about our bare metal solutions, from Mo about the hosted private cloud product cloud line. They are the perfect solutions to start your journey to the cloud. You can take your existing apps with very minimal work, bring them to the cloud to start to get the benefit of working with a cloud provider. These cloud services are dedicated, so you can get to run your workloads on servers that are specifically for you. With our public cloud service, you are getting virtualized resources, which brings even more flexibility and agility to your development. These resources are available on demand, so you can easily scale your infrastructure up and down, and through automation and code. And of course, with that, you pay as you go. That's the promise of the public cloud. Why is it so important to have the right infrastructure to run your applications, right? Because your applications, they are what allow your company to be competitive on your markets. That's how your customers experience your business, and that's how they consume your services. So it's important to be able to operate performant application that you can easily manage and evolve with the right people at the right price. So according to IDC, between 2020 and 2023, 500 million applications will be developed, the same number of applications that have been developed over the past 40 years. So, people have already started to develop their application in the cloud. Have you? Another number from another analyst company, ESG, 73% of companies are actually currently developing cloud-native applications using microservices from the cloud. So they are getting to the next level and really benefiting from the all the services that you get when you develop in the cloud. And one of the benefits of developing cloud application is to allow you to put your entire focus on the business layer, right? While we focus on the building blocks, right? We deliver the managed services, we manage the infrastructure for you. You can really focus on the business layer. That's really the goal here. So that means at the end of the day that you can be more agile and that you can accelerate your time to market. Now we can split your apps into categories, right? The one that already exist and that are that you're already operating, and that some new apps that you will soon work developed with our public cloud. So first, to modernize your apps, modernize your architecture, you will take advantage of virtualized instances and resourcing. That's what you get from the public cloud. And soon you will be able to do the same, as Mo mentioned earlier, with this VMware offer called Tanzu that will allow to have containers coexist with virtual machines. So that's really what brings me to the next point, like building cloud-native applications. That's really where you will fully leverage the orchestration solution that exists. The most famous is Kubernetes. OVHcloud has a free managed CNCF compliant offer with Kubernetes, and that's really the best way next to build your cloud-native applications. Last, if you are at this level, you can also work with some of the product that we will release soon, next year likely, are AI and machine learning solutions that will allow you to fully work with your data, the massive data that you have, build model, execute models, train your models. We will have some servers and services available for you to do that as well. So application modernization, right? What does that mean? What does it take to modernize your existing app? If you operate a typical enterprise applications, those days it's likely built on a 3-tier model. You have the presentation tier, the front end, you have the application tier, you have the database to store your data. So each tier currently, if you are running it on premise, requires specific servers that you need to fully manage. In the cloud, your servers become public cloud instances, so you can have as many instances as you want based on your needs. So already here, you're able to quickly scale your application up and down. Your database servers, they can become managed database services that we offer. So we provide those services for you. So we take fully care of the databases. We patch, we upgrade, and we make them scalable. And same with storage, right? If you had like server storage that you had to buy in advance and decide how much disk you needed, no need. You can actually, as you move to the cloud, you can fully leverage the storage services that we offer and that are available to you on demand. And with this model, again, you pay as you go. Right, so if you are about to create a new application this time and you really fully want to take advantage of the cloud, you will build what we call a cloud native application. That's what really will allow your developers to have the most flexibility. That's where you will get the agility by building truly portable applications. With that, you will be able to fully automate your developments and operations with infrastructure as code for maximum velocity. Here again, you will leverage our free managed Kubernetes and platform as a service offers with the many services that I'm about to show you that are coming to the US in the coming month. So if we look at the current services that we have and where you can currently build your cloud applications, right? If we are looking specifically at the virtualized environment, we have VMware right now, the one described by Mo, where you can build your application in virtual machines. That's from our hosted private cloud. And then we have our public cloud, where you have our instances, virtualized instances that are powered by OpenStack. And as mentioned before, Kubernetes, we launched Kubernetes a year ago, and it's available again to orchestrate all your containers. It's a free managed solution that you can use right now. And those compute services can, of course, rely and tap into some storage services that we offer from block storage, object storage, and archive. And that's what we have now, and that's what's coming up next. Right? So if you look at the top part, looking at the compute part, what you see, what appeared there is VMware Tanzu, again, mentioned by Mo early. That's where you will be able to, with VMware, not only deploy in virtual machines, but you will also be able to have those containers coexist with your virtual machine. So we are very excited to bring this new product to the market in the coming months. Later next year, 2023, we will bring some AI solutions, again, to develop, train, and operate your model in the cloud with, again, the scalability and a large range of services that will be available to you. But today, one of the product that I'm the most excited about is really our database as a service that we are bringing in the next month. We have a partnership with Ivan, one of the leaders on the market, and with that, literally overnight, we will bring a large range of databases as a service. As a developer, you will have access to the most popular databases from MySQL or even Postgres, Redis, and even additional services on demand again. Kafka, Grafana will be part of the services that will be available. The storage layer will continue to improve, so we will continue to improve our block storage. I think James mentioned some of that. You will soon be able to benefit from the integration with OpenIO, on object storage. On block storage, we will extend with NVMe solutions over Fabrics from our Extend acquisition from last year. OpenIO will improve our object storage with high performance and standard S3-based storage options. We will bring file storage to the US and again continue to offer archive storage for our developers. So again, that's really what we are working on right now. Those databases are about to be developed, deployed in the next month to any customer who has an account with OVHcloud in the US. I have covered public cloud, but again, here is the map of all the services that we have in the US or that are coming soon. So you recognize at the bottom the bare metal cloud. That's really the foundations of our cloud here at OVHcloud. Public cloud on top of that, hosted private cloud next to it, container orchestration with managed Kubernetes, all the storage options that I mentioned, that we mentioned before, Vim and Zerto that also Mo presented before. The AI stack is coming next year. The databases in the top right corner, and all those services are accessible through the manager in your portal. We have this OVHcloud manager where you can manage your compute, all your services in one place, and they can all coexist and connect to each other with the VRAC technology that is specific to OVHcloud to build your applications. All right, that was a quick overview of what is coming next. This event is called OVHcloud Engage, and the reason for that is because we want to engage with you, and we want to get your feedback, right? So this is a roadmap. This is the short-term roadmap with some more like long-term deliverable, but you still can influence this roadmap. So we want to hear from you. Those roadmaps are all on GitHub. So you can go to github.com/OVH. You can find different projects depending on the roadmap that you are interested in. And you can vote, and you can come back to us and provide feedback to the product team and everyone here. I think that covers what we all wanted to cover today, but we are definitely open to questions now. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks everyone. We have all the presenters up here now, so we're going to take some questions. First, we'll see if there are any from our live audience here at Peachtree Corners, and then I know there are some that have come in from folks watching online. So anybody in the room, if you have a question, we've got a mic at the back if you want to go back there to ask it, just so the people online can hear you.
Someone asks, I currently use VMware but want to run it in the cloud. How does that process to transition to the OVHcloud work?
Okay, great question. I think I'm going to pass that one over to Mo.
Yes, so if you have an on-premise VMware solution, you can use a migration tool called HCX to stand up your cloud and move it into the OVHcloud. There's not a lot of work that needs to be done there from a transitional point of view. All your domain services and whatnot can stay the same. However, you will be moving from your internal IPs to our IP addresses, so you will have to update your DNS settings and whatnot to recognize the public IP changing. But the rest of your network schema can basically stay the same. So the transition is very easy. It's done over the level 3 stretch using HCX, and you can do it in a matter of hours or minutes, depending on how big your bandwidth is on-prem, and also how much data you're moving. So it's a real simple process. We've done it many, many times before. If you have questions, you can always contact us at info@us.ovhcloud.com, and we'll be happy to walk you through a process of what it could look like.
Yeah, thanks, Mo. I think it's worth mentioning that OVHcloud acquired vCloud Air from VMware a few years ago when the company was starting. So folks like Mo came over from that acquisition. So we've got a lot of VMware talent and expertise on our side. And as I mentioned earlier, OVHcloud has a long history of partnership with VMware, and we were the first or one of the first to offer this vSphere as a service offering. So this is right up our alley, and it supports all the 3 main use cases. If you want to move your on-prem data center to the cloud, if you want to extend it and keep some workloads on-prem, or if you need a disaster recovery solution, just like Mo said.
All right, we got another question here. How does VRAC solve networking problems for me? Can VRAC be used to solve data compliance or security issues?
Okay, another great question. I think, James, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. Yep, so let me get that. So for VRAC in general, what it does is it allows you to network all of your services together in a private network. So right away, having all of your services in a private network and not exposed to the public network is going to solve quite a few security issues by default. What was the second part of that question? Just want to make sure I capture everything.
So can VRAC be used to solve data compliance or security issue?
Yep, so for data compliance, it depends on what compliancy issues you're looking to solve there, but absolutely you can segregate traffic the way you need. So if there's a specific compliance issue that you have and it needs to have data, I don't know, segregation or something like that in between it, VRAC would be the solution to that. But ultimately what VRAC does right now today is offers a layer 2 connectivity between all of your services across data centers. And in the future, we're going to be moving towards layer 3 as well.
I think maybe the other thing worth noting too is depending on the range of server that you have, whether it's scalar, high grade, or advanced, or some of the order ranges, they're going to have one public interface and either 1, 2, or 3 additional interfaces. And in the scale and high grade and advanced ranges, you can bond those together, so you can avoid having any public interfaces, and you can bond the 2 or 4 network interfaces that you have for faster speed traffic just on the private network.
Just to add to what you both already said, with VRAC, I think perhaps also to address the compliance part, because you can mix and match all the cloud services that OVHcloud provides, right? So you can have some bare metal servers on perhaps for your compute tier, but if you have a specific needs for your database and you need to have specifically our hosted private cloud, you can mix and match and have VRAC let them connect and work together as well.
Next question is, the biggest problem I face when moving to the cloud is refactoring apps. How does OVHcloud help me get around this time-consuming process?
Okay, I think probably everybody up here could answer a little bit of that one. Pascal, you want to take this one to start?
Yeah, but just align with what I presented here, right? We have multiple cloud products at OVHcloud, so the way you want to start your migration to the cloud can really be decided based on how much you want to invest in this project, right? A simple way to do some lift and shift is really to work with our bare metal solutions. If you have some more sophisticated need, you can work with our hosted private cloud, so you can again get to the next level of migration to the cloud. And if you are willing to rebuild some of those apps, you can do that in public cloud. So while ultimately rebuilding a cloud native apps will take some time, you don't have to do that day one. We provide again bare metal hosted private cloud to allow you to do your first steps, perhaps even get your expertise improved and get to learn a little bit how it works before you start to work in the public cloud. Other providers and some more famous ones have mainly a public cloud offer, so you are forced in that case to really rebuild and rewrite your apps from day one. Not the case here with us. You can take your time to decide when it's the right time for you.
Another aspect of our public cloud that I think is unique to OVHcloud from the research that we've done in the market is, again, on the public cloud, these instances, they're paid on consumption, usually hourly or by the minute. And if you look at other cloud providers, if you keep the instance for a whole month, then it's basically, you just multiply out how long you used it for by the unit price. Because we know there's a use case, as Pascal was describing, for some people who just want to lift and shift and not really take advantage of the cloud native model. We also offer for people that pay up front for a monthly public cloud instance, it's actually about half price. So if you're using it more like a bare metal server and in a lift and shift sort of scenario, you can also save a lot of money that way. James, you want to add something to that?
I'll add one thing. Just on the refactoring your application being complicated or anything like that, I just want to mention that we do have real humans here that have a lot of expertise in that. So if there are specific questions that you have, please contact us. We'll have the right people to sit there with you and kind of, help guide you into what sort of products that we have and what solutions we have to help you out.
Okay, more questions?
Yes. In the age of cybercrime, how does OVHcloud protect my data? How do you support disaster recovery?
Okay, Mo already touched on that a little earlier. I think he's got a great example of that one.
Yeah, so as demonstrated, I believe it was by James, for starters, we have an anti-DDoS that we offer out of the box to any and all of our solutions. So from a DDoS point of view, if you are getting attacked, we can isolate your machine. Many times over, we'll give you a whole new machine with a new IP address if we have to migrate and go that far. But we can take care of anybody that's trying to do a DDoS attack and keep your business online and keep your transactions running safely. Secondly, as I kind of shared with Zerto and Veeam solutions, having malware, ransomware, and the human factor impacting your business, all of those solutions from Zerto and Veeam can protect your data. And then on top of all of that, NSX-T, once again, will have intrusion detection and intrusion prevention built into it. So as you're building a distributed firewall, as you're building your policy objects and putting those protection policies in place with the ports that you want open, you can actually segment which internal applications are communicating with your internal servers from server A, B, C to D. So even if you have somebody that's being malicious inside your organization, you can still prevent security issues. And then last but not least, VMware keeps innovating, right? And we're going to keep supporting VMware. They will actually have antivirus and malware as part of NSX-T in 2 more months. So you're going to have a full suite of security and protection from internal and external threats.
I think I can add on to that. That's all right. Go ahead. Yeah, and then just a couple of things that we didn't mention throughout the presentation. We also have the OVH firewall that exists. It sits 1 layer outside of your infrastructure. So it's still important to always have your OS firewall rules and all of your normal security in place. And again, like I was mentioning earlier, you have full root and full BIOS access to your machine. So make sure to secure that as you would normally. We also do offer our OVH firewall that you can put into 20 incoming or outgoing rules on your infrastructure that protects at a secondary layer outside of the infrastructure. So it's one more advanced thing that we just include with all of our IP addresses that you can configure yourself to ensure nothing gets past that layer.
Great, and I think one other comment for me, on this topic is if you already are with another cloud provider or you're on-prem or whatever your situation is we're operating in a multi-cloud world, so OVHcloud is a great destination for your data recovery for the powerful servers and the storage that we have and these backup and DR solutions at a very strong price performance ratio.
Yeah, gentlemen, maybe just a broader question, kind of looking towards the future. I just came back from the Global Blockchain Business Council in Davos, and one of the things, there's a big push towards kind of blockchain, Web 3.0, kind of beyond blockchain for just crypto, right? We all know what's happening with crypto right now, but beyond crypto, there's distributed ledgers, a lot of ESG programs trying to verify provenance of source materials type of things. Where does the OVHcloud ecosystem, your ecosystem of product and services, where do you guys see yourselves in that role as the continued evolution of blockchain in the future?
Yeah, great question. So again, generally, any of our products would be suitable for that type of workload, but we actually have a lot of blockchain and Web 3.0 customers already, and they love the speed and performance, especially of our scale and high-grade servers. They're some of the most powerful on the market, and they really love the performance. The only downside is at the moment, because of some global supply chain issues, we can't even keep up with demand. So it's a very positive view. We know that as soon as we can deliver more servers, there's definitely a market for them. And we've been to some conferences lately in that arena. And I think we've got a good solution in that area. Mo, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, there's a lot of technology going on there. And OVH is providing the best that we can in regards to the HDR and scale servers. We offer servers with up to 24 hard drives that are NVMe drives with 1.5 terabytes of RAM in them. So everybody running the blockchain applications, running the nodes, they're winning contracts because we are able to get the speed that they're looking for to help them make money. And then when they're making money, they're bringing in more investors and they're growing their business. So the Pocket community, as we like to call it, we were down at InfraCon in the Dominican Republic not too long ago, and we were well recognized for the delivery just in the past 6 months and our influence on how successful they have been to make hundreds of millions of dollars running on our infrastructure and our HDR and scale servers. So we are very much heavily into the blockchain environment, and we look forward to working with them and continue to grow.
I might just have a quick word as well, if that's okay. Yeah, my quick word on that is for all these new and emerging use cases, it's really great to hear feedback from our customers to see, you know, which way we should go. If you guys have suggestions on where we can take our infrastructure to better suit any of these kind of emerging use cases, please let us know. We're happy to take that.
Yeah, that's a great point, because initially when we designed and started deploying some of these scale and high-grade servers, they came with different disk configurations. But again, at least for this use case, we're seeing that the multiple 12 and 24 NVMe drive, flavors are the ones that the market is after. So we'll adjust our production, to make those the more readily available ones. The other thing is, please check out our website. In addition to us just telling you about this, we've had some independent reviews done of our scale and high-grade servers, and our performance came in well ahead of some more well-known names that you would think of in this space.
Does VRAC support OVH World and other OVH websites products?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess really quickly to say on OVH's, let's say the global side, we have OVH that's outside of the United States. If you have your account there, you're not able to purchase into the United States. So in that case, you wouldn't be able to merge your products with a VRAC that's on the US side. But from the US side, you are able to order into all of our other data centers, with the exception of our Asia Pacific range right now, or in that area. So our Singapore and Sydney data centers are not available to purchase today. That's coming in the next few weeks. But outside of that, yes, you can absolutely merge all of your products into one VRAC and communicate across all of our data centers from a US account today.
Yeah, great. Let me just maybe try one more time on that one, because saying the US I want to make sure we're very clear. So one thing, OVHcloud US, which is our company, we're a fully owned subsidiary of OVHcloud Group, which is our parent company in France. If you're a customer, you can do business with our company in France, and they have other regional entities in Canada, Asia Pacific, et cetera. And if you're a customer of theirs, then as James was saying, you can buy servers in any of their global data centers except for in the US. If you want to buy servers in our US data centers, only OVHcloud US, the company, can deliver those. So you become a customer of ours, but then we can also deliver servers in any of the company's global data centers.
How does Kubernetes work in OVHcloud, and what other PaaS offerings are available in OVHcloud?
Okay, let me give that one to Pascal to start.
All right, so our Kubernetes offers was launched last year. What's great about that, it's fully managed, right? It's free and fully managed, meaning that when you use Kubernetes with OVHcloud, you just pay for the instances, the storage that your application requires, but we take care of all the administration, all the nodes, all the overhead for managing Kubernetes. It's on us, and we take care of all the upgrades, everything. It comes with a load balancer as well. So as you know, the goal with Kubernetes is to scale with code and automation and orchestrate all your containers. So all those service load balancers, auto scalings come with it, part of the offer. So available today, and it can be already used to build your cloud native applications. Regarding the PaaS offers, the databases as a service, they are about to be released literally in a few months, like early after the summer. And that, together with Kubernetes, will be the perfect platform to continue to build your apps and extend your portfolio of applications.
Okay, we're gonna take one more from the live audience.
Thank you. I guess my question is OVHcloud hiring today?
Yes, OVHcloud in general is growing and hiring everywhere, and specifically here with the U.S. company, we have many open roles, and we've been hiring aggressively over the past few months. So again, you can check our website at us.ovhcloud.com and see the open roles. We're always looking for great people to join our team. And I think we have one more?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if a company already has a presence in AWS or Azure. What does the transition to OVH Cloud look like?
Okay, great. I think it depends on exactly the use case. Like James was saying earlier, we'd be happy to consult with you, and depending on what workloads you're using, or if you're looking to add DR or backups, or completely migrate the workloads, or put some workloads in one cloud and leave others in another. I think it depends, but hopefully what we've tried to get across today is I think we've got a solution that's right for you and other companies that want to expand their cloud presence and spread their assets among providers.
And if I've got a client that is interested in physical networking, MPLS, is there a DMARC location I can bring those endpoints into OVH Cloud?
Yeah, so right now, as far as I'm aware, MPLS is not supported. We do more of the interconnectivity directly with Equinix. I don't know, Mo, if on OCC, if you know if MPLS was going to be supported. I think it's supposed to be supported in the future. As of right now, it's not, but it's something to look out for on a roadmap in the future.
All right, well, thanks. I don't see any more questions from the live audience. I think we've covered everything that we have online, and we're pretty much right on time as we set aside 90 minutes for this session. So I appreciate your attendance and attention. As I mentioned earlier, we'll have an edited version of this presentation and the slides available online. So look for that on our website. And we look forward to working with you in the future. Have a great day.